We are GraceKellie. My name is GraceKellie.
I'm Kelly McGrew.
We met because we both study audio engineering and sound production in Jacobs, and so we're the same year, so we took classes together. And we became a band midway through our sophomore year.
Yeah.
We both kind of just wanted to play music with somebody, and just the two of us got together and, yeah, started a band. So, yeah, that's our scoop, that's our story. I think a crown is the first thing that comes to mind, because our first album is Like the Princess. And so we named our album Like the Princess because whenever we would introduce ourselves, like at parties and stuff, be like, "Oh, I'm Grace, and this is my friend Kelly," and people would say, "Like the Princess?" And we'd be like, "Yes, like the Princess." And it just happened so often that then when we became a band, we're like, "Well, we have to name our band GraceKellie." And then when we put out our album, we're like, "Well, we have to call it Like the Princess." So anyway, I think I'd get a crown for Princess GraceKellie.
Perfect. Same.
What do you think? You have other
I
ideas?
think a crown is a good
Okay.
idea.
Whew.
Well, I had a weird quarantine
Yeah.
where I was working the whole time, so I didn't really have a quarantine until like last winter.
Where were you working?
I went out to California and worked in a studio for the summer, Northern California. It's called Prairie Sun. It's like out on a farm. It's very quaint. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was like, it totally saved my quarantine. I was gonna be like stuck at home with my parents, and I was like,
That's like music plus farm equals
dream. Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome.
It was so good.
I did, typical quarantine stuff like Pilates and banana bread. That's what I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the songs that we played today, Woman in Demand, the inspiration song for that is by Bonnets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mala Gente by
So
Bonnets.
it's like Latin pop.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think eventually the recording sounds pretty Latin pop.
Yeah.
It's got some like Santana vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So
That's
it's
so
totally
awesome.
different. Nothing on our first album has that kind of energy at all. And then there's also another song, I don't know if there's another song on the radar that'll be on this next album that's like Glass Animals inspired, and it has some like soda can pop samples and other just like goofy samples on it, and it's gonna have like some synth parts that a lot of our actually I don't think there's any synth parts on Like the Princess, but like Vanity has some synth parts, and some of this next music is gonna just change in that direction. So yeah. Well, in the fall, we spent a lot of our time, I do a lot of work for the theater, and I do a lot of sound design work, so I roped Kelly and our other roommate, Emma Walsh, into this new band forming. So we were kind of the house band for this show, Bonnets. Full name of the play is Bonnets, How Ladies of Good Breeding Are Induced to Murder. And so it's a very womanist play. It was like, we needed a band for it. Originally we were going to play live, and so we had to adapt that. And so we basically like built a little stage, live sound stage, like in our living room. Kelly and Emma were really good sports about it, but we did it. We recorded the whole thing. Yeah, so that was kind of our whole like September, October was this play that I got everyone involved in. And then in the spring, we've been really focused on this next album, and so pretty much all of our friends have recorded a track with us, which has been pretty cool.
Another good thing about being an audio engineer is
Yes.
all your friends are audio engineers, so they need projects to record for class. So
And we love spending time with them in the studio. Yeah. Well, just like as friends, one of my favorite memories is when we went to the Indie Art Museum for the Winter Lights.
yeah,
That was the coolest
that
thing.
was fun.
Oh, Midland?
Is that what it's called?
No, Newfields.
Oh, yeah.
The art museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like on the grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just, whenever that was, last Christmas,
Yeah.
last winter, we went up there.
A while ago.
Yeah. I have great pictures of us. Our band's colors, like our unofficial band colors, are pink and blue, and I have a really cute picture of the two of us with pink and blue Christmas lights. And it just makes me smile, so that's one of my favorite memories.
I would have to say when I came to visit you in DC, and we did a music video, and we were out in that creek behind your house, or like it's almost like a river. It's like this.
Yeah.
And we were like standing on these rocks. And I had your like dad's bass in my hand, and like That was great.
That was pretty sick. Yeah. Oh,
That's awesome. I want to see that video.
Yeah.
check it out. It's on our YouTube. We're GraceKellie Jams on YouTube, so you can see it there.
Beautiful.
Usually Kelly drives and Kelly DJs, so it's your court.
That's a big responsibility.
It's a huge
You know?
responsibility.
Man, my music taste changes every week, so it's just like
And
it's
that's
all
part,
over
right.
the place.
That's part of who we are.
I try to play female-fronted musicians, just gotta get us inspired and stuff.
The Raincoats. We've been listening to
oh,
the
man.
Raincoats.
Love the
We've
Raincoats.
been listening to. That's all. I can
One of
think
my favorite bands is Concrete Blonde. The lead singer plays bass. Her name's Jonette. I don't know her last name. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she's super cool.
We did. I don't know what it was.
Whatever I had on my phone, playing on my phone. I think there was a Beatles song. It was "Hey Bulldog," I think.
Oh.
Yeah, and then this bad song that was. I was like listening to the lyrics, and I was like, I don't think Grace is enjoying this.
Oh my gosh.
Depends on who's in the car. Like Grace, I'm just like, I'll just throw whatever on. And I don't really care.
Yeah.
But sometimes I try to tailor it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm driving and you do like
Yeah.
put my phone on
Yeah.
shuffle.
Hosier. This is my first Hosier.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The band that toured with Hosier on, I think it was the Wasteland Baby tour, their name is Balin, and I love Balin. They were a small band from New York, and I'm from DC, and they used to tour up and down the East Coast a lot, and they played at, like, my favorite, like, small music venue that, like, my high school band used to play at. So I love them, and I really look up to them, and
Yeah.
so, like, them touring with Hosier meant a lot to me, you know, and we also just love Hosier and Balin. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Either of them actually would be really cool, but Hosier would be, like, so sick. That's kind of random. Kind of, like, not really our genre exactly, but I still love them.
Yeah. Janelle Monáe would be
Janelle
cool.
Monáe would be so
Oh,
cool.
wow. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh,
Absolutely.
that's the dream. Yeah.
No limits to your
Universal
powers.
housing, universal income, healthcare.
Healthcare. I was gonna say
For everybody.
healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the tax, the 7%?
Wealth tax?
Wealth tax.
2-cent wealth tax.
Cap people off at $999 million.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
People need that much money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Okay.
How do you feel about this? I don't know your answer to this question.
Like super produced, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie XCX, that's what you said?
Yes.
As the example?
I like Charlie XCX, I think. I know who 100 Gex is, and they're a little out there.
Is 100 Gex that band that, like, did that collab for Ringtone? See, I love that song. I listened to some of their other stuff, though, and I,
little weird.
maybe not for me, but, like, yeah. Anyway.
No.
I'm trying to
I don't think
think.
that's ever crossed my mind.
I have serenaded people
As
who
a
then
musician.
as a musician, not as a band, as a solo artist, that then became a significant other. Like they weren't before, I sang them a song later that night. Yes.
Absolutely.
That kind of situation.
Awesome.
I think twice, actually.
That we play all of our own instruments.
I was thinking that, and then I was
Yeah.
like, the only exceptions are
Well-
our violinist's name is Maya Toffler, and so we love her. And occasionally we have our other roommate, Emma Walsh, come play aux percussion for us. But other than that, we play all of the instruments, and so that's guitar, bass, drums, keys, synths, trumpet, vocals. We do all that. And right, we intentionally, the other musicians we ask are on purpose other women. And so, yeah. And also, I think the world should know that Kelly doesn't sing.
Oh yeah, I don't sing.
Like whatsoever?
Yeah, I get asked that. It's like, oh, are you singing on this? I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
No.
Not
It's all
even the
Grace.
shower
People
No.
want to know. It's because there's a lot of harmonies in our music, so I understand why people would think that. But I'm like, also, like, Kelly's busy with other things. Like, no, she doesn't. I think it's right. We had this conversation recently how like it's kind of unfair. I was like, that's just because you're a girl. And she's like, oh, I know it's because I'm a girl. I'm like,
You're busy playing drums,
And bass, guitar.
yeah,
guitar, I assume trumpet.
No.
I play
Okay.
trumpet actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Aw, such a cute question.
You're a hit writing machine.
Yeah.
Aw. I guess this is a little bit of overlap of what I want other people to know, and one of my very favorite things about, like, not favorite things, I have a lot of favorite things about you, Kelly, but Kelly does all the album and single art for our band, and
shit.
is a phenomenal visual artist, and every time I get to see something that Kelly has made, either just, like, for a painting class that she took, like, for school credit, or, like, stuff that people are commissioning from her, stuff that she makes for our band, stuff that she used to make posters for the house show scene. Every single time I see something new that she's made, I just, like, jaw hits the floor. It's so stunning. Even if it's, like, a work in progress for you, even if it's just, like, oh, this is the color palette. The color palettes are brilliant. I know nothing about color theory, so anytime she's like, I think this, I'm like, brilliant. It's just brilliant. Anyway, so, yeah, I think it's so special to, have, like, another medium that you're so good at working in. It's just awesome. Yeah. You can find us on all the major streaming platforms for GraceKellie. It's one word, so GRACE, capital KELLIE. So GraceKellie on everything. You can also find us on Bandcamp. On Instagram, we're GraceKellie Jams with a Z. And on Facebook, we're GraceKellie Jams with a Z. And what am I forgetting? Anything? What else? YouTube, we're GraceKellie Jams with a Z. Yeah, and on YouTube we have 2 music videos out that you can check out. And yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah,
This has
thank
been
you for
so
doing the
fun.
interview. It was so awesome. Cool.